This podcast is brought to you by Dragon Shield. Use code PLAYTOWIN5 at the affiliate link down below for 5% off to help support the show.
Welcome to the Play to Win podcast, where we talk about winning in cEDH. I'm Cam.
I'm Dylan, and this week we're brewing JUND. I've had JUND on the mind. I've been thinking a lot about different JUND stuff. We've both been JUND guy in the past at our local game store for forever. I've been thinking about JUND. I want to brew a JUND deck.
I'm super into that. So we're going to brew some JUND. But before we get into that, if you want to support us directly, make sure you check out our Patreon, link down below.
Couple things I'm thinking about here. Number one, first thought is JUND, I feel like right now is a Corvold's world. So we might be brewing a Corvold list from scratch. That's my one thought. Corvold is really good, draws a ton of cards, really good with Dockside Extortionist. My second thought, they've been printing a lot of Powers Matters cards recently. I think a lot of them are not so good, but some of them might be good. And I've been thinking about Dargo a bunch. So I kind of want to put some of these Powers Matters things from either Sylvala Brostorm, using some of the black ones, combining them with a cheap 1-mana 7-powered creature in the command zone. That's another thought that I've been having. And then my third thought that I've been having is lots of Orcish Bowmasters, lots of Shieldredge, lots of Mayhem Devils being really good for me recently. Do we want to cram all that stuff into one deck, destroy the board, and ping everyone with lots of damage and do JUND stuff? These are my three camps.
I have a thought that I've been having recently, which is I want to go fast more recently and try to get around the meta that way.
Yeah.
So I also really like this direction and have been thinking about Ragrak more recently as well. So I think I would like to throw him as a partner into the ring as well.
Okay, understood. Yeah, I think in the mid-range in the mid-range world, if we're in JUND colors, meaning without blue, we want to go fast. We want to go faster than the mid-range decks before they can set up, right?
Because even in Corvold, unless we have Dockside Extortionist, we are not drawing as many cards as the rest of the table.
Yeah.
And we are unable to interact as well as the rest of the table, presumably. So in order to get around that, we got to be quick, like you said, and we got to be able to present consistent wins turn after turn, and probably even on other opponents' turns too.
Yeah, I think the consistent wins, like that's how we get through it. I don't think this is the deck that's going to hold out and wait till we find Veil of Summer. We're just going to get to a point where we can present a win on turn 2, and then a win on turn 3, and then a win on turn 4, and just every turn
and
present
just
a win.
Take
that's
a
what we're
note
trying.
from the Cody deck that we all lost to in the tournament that we talked about last week, and just go, I got to be able to hang in the mid-range, but be more early game focused.
Yeah, so I think our biggest contenders for whatever we're doing right now, Corvold is probably in that fast range, and I think Dargo Ikra and maybe Ragrak Ikra are also have the potential to be very, very fast.
Yes, I agree. Now, Ikra as a partner is also kind of a throwaway piece.
Yeah.
We could do Rayhan
We
instead.
could do Rayhan and just have a 3-mana commander instead if we're going to do the partner route.
I think that might, I agree. I think that might come up a little bit more easier, and depending on who our other partner is, like if we're playing Dargo, it will make it easier to play cards like Deadly Rollick and Deflecting Swat too. So maybe that's another consideration.
Yeah, that's very true. It's tough. It's tough.
It's very tough. Should we make a pros and cons list?
I think we should make a pros and cons list.
All right, let's do a pros and cons list between Corvold and partners. I think is the first thing that we should decide, because once we figure out, do we want to do a partner or do we just want to stay in Corvold, I think that will help us narrow our decision.
From what I've seen on EDH Top 16, if I'm understanding what I've seen correctly, Corvold has won the most tournament. It has the most success.
Well, hold up. What was one of the tournaments that's listed on here?
I don't know why.
Because remember, one of them cheated their way to a win.
Okay, yeah, that may be true.
So I don't know if that's included on this website.
So Corvold has 61 entries, which is kind of a lot, but only a 13% win rate, which is actually not so good. So maybe this tournament thing is not a good reason for why Corvold just is the most popular, not necessarily the best JUND commander.
I don't think we're building this deck to do well in tournaments. I think part of the problem with our color combination is that we're going to be very limited in tournaments.
Yeah, that might be true, but I would like to build the best deck possible. That is,
we're going to build the best deck.
Right now, my main requirements are it's a JUND deck, it's the best JUND deck, and it fits into maybe one of these strategies that we've listed so far that I've been thinking about a lot.
Well, all the strategies that we've talked about so far are the best JUND Jund strategies. So I think we can knock that right out of the park. Back to Korvold versus partners.
I've played Korvold before. When the deck does its thing, it really hums. I've had a hard time because the deck just is not quite as good without Korvold. It doesn't do as much, doesn't have enough. Now, Korvold has gotten a ton of stuff recently. Some of the stuff I've played with, some of the stuff I haven't. Specifically, the new black card from Clue that draws you a card whenever you cast a spell.
Mastermind Plum?
Mastermind Plum. That one I think is a huge include into Korvold and a big reason why I'd be wanting to play Korvold right now.
Yeah, it draws you a card when you cast a spell that you spent treasure to cast it on.
Right.
Not just whenever you cast a spell.
Not just whenever you cast a spell or not just whenever you sacrifice a treasure. Yeah, specifically when you do that.
But it's still like a very powerful effect that when you are storming off with treasures, every single card is going to be a life and a draw, which is basically like netting your own necropotence that you can cast spells with right away.
Here's my fear about Rograk and some of the partner stuff is that without Fierce Guardianship, Deflecting Swat is good, but it's not... Normally, the Fierce Guardianship is another big pull to having the Rograk. And without having the blue, that makes it a little bit trickier. I don't know. Do we want to have a powerful commander or do we want to go? I mean, we talked about fast. We want to go fast.
If we want to go fast, we want Rograk. I think if we were looking for full-blown speed, Rograk is going to be the easiest way to do that just because we'll be able to shove Culling the Weak and Infernal Plunge effects into the deck just to maximize on our mana output then too.
Now, if we do that, that is exactly opposite from a Powers Matter theme or any of the other, the damage, like throwing damage around theme. Now, that might be for good reason. Those themes are probably bad, and I should keep that in the casual side of my brain.
I mean,
and
the
that's
whole
fine.
theme part of this is like starting to cross that boundary.
Definitely, it definitely does. And when I say theme, I don't mean a true theme. I just mean having a cohesive strategy that is maximizing on some of these new avenues that I don't think were available before. Yeah. I don't mean truly.
You're not swapping out. Yeah, you're not swapping out like 20 to 30 cards to play a Powers Matter deck. Yeah, we're talking about like even like 5 to 10 cards that are built around the fact that Dargo has 7 power.
That being said, I do think if we want to go Jund and our mission is fast, and I agree with you that I think we want to go fast right now.
Yeah.
We're in the mid-range world. I don't want to grind with everyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to do what everyone else is doing.
No.
I want to go before them. If I try to grind with them, they'll outvalue me. I want to win before they win.
100%.
I think we go Rograk.
I think we would go Rograk too if we're trying to go. Now Dargo can still go fast. So if we do
very fast.
If we do want to also like kind of include a theme with this build, I would say like we can still go fast with Dargo, but if we want to go as fast as possible, Rograk's what we want to do.
My big difference is between the two of those, normally when I've compared them in the past, is Rograk is going to get the turn 2 almost always, the turn 1 sometimes, and then after that I can win more, whereas Dargo is not going to win on turn 1 or turn 2 quite as often as the Rograk deck will, but it'll completely smash turn 3. And I don't think we want to smash turn 3 right now. I want to go on the turn 2 or 1, and Rograk is there,
I think that's what we want to do too, is go into the way early game instead of like rely on turn 3. Turn 3 is by the time people are untapping with their engines and feeling more comfortable. I want to get them before they're comfortable.
Yeah. Now the issue is both of our Golgari commanders stink.
They suck, yeah.
Ikra's been used a lot in the past just because theoretically the life gain can help with ad nauseum things. I don't know. I feel like there's something to be said about just having a second commander that's only 3 mana. When it dies, you can put those counters on that. I don't know. That part's probably not relevant, but 3 mana versus 5 mana for essentially a do nothing, that might be something. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I would agree. Let's reread Rayhan because we're very familiar with Ikra, but just you and me personally, we're less familiar with Rayhan, Last of the Abzan. So it enters the battlefield with 3+1/+1 counters. It's a 3-mana 3/3. When a creature you control dies or is put into the command zone, if it had more than 1+1/+1 counters on it, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on target creature. So if like we have Rayhan out and it dies, we can put +1/+1 counters on Rograk, and then if we sacrifice Rograk with one of our rituals or with a diabolic intent, we can put those counters on something else.
Can you do me a favor? Can we look up the wording of Agatha's Soul Cauldron right now?
Yeah, sure.
Is there any overlap? Can this help? Can this be a part of a Soul Cauldron line?
All right, so the first line is just a bunch of yada 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 text. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creatures exiled with the Soul Cauldron.
So it doesn't, since you put the counter on with the Soul Cauldron, Rayhan having those counters already, that doesn't exactly help anything there, right?
No, but it means that you can exile you can exile something in your graveyard to the Agatha Soul Cauldron and then cast Rayhan and not have to worry about having Rayhan in play when you go to exile the thing. So it just
yeah.
opens up a couple more windows for you to set up for a combo potentially.
And there's no way this doesn't win with Walking Ballista in the same way that Francisco does, because Francisco has the Explore thing that puts the counter back on. Rayhan can't put the counter back on. So there's no combo potential we can do there.
Yeah, because you need a creature to die in order to put the +1/+1 counters on something else.
Should we do a quick? Let me just do a quick.
Where's Commander's spell table?
I want to look up Rayhan and just see if anything has changed recently.
Spellbook. No combos found.
Either way, that being said, I don't feel like doing Ikra. We've done Ikra before. Ikra's never done anything real for me. I want a 3-man commander. I say we do Rayhan.
All right, I'm into Rayhan. So we're doing Rograk Rayhan then?
Let's do it. Double
Beautiful.
R's.
That sounds good.
Red Ribbon Army.
Red Ribbon Army. I love that.
That's the name of it. All right, we'll start with there.
All right, beautiful. Okay, so how are we winning the game? First of all, we're going really fast. Yeah,
We'll start at the top. We're doing Ad Nauseam.
we're doing Ad Nauseam.
This is going to
hands
be
down.
This will be a standard Ad Nauseam deck, but it's going to be through our Bruin minds, and we're going to see if we can get to something real.
I will say I want to get this out there too. I have played Rograk Jund before.
Yeah.
My current record is 1-0 with
Okay.
Rograk Jund.
Good sign.
Which is really good. And there's video proof of that on the professor's site.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the professor's channel,
You were playing
check that
Ikra at
out.
the time, though, right?
I was playing Ikra at the time, yeah.
Did it ever come up?
No, Ikra didn't come up.
Never come up. Maybe
no,
Rayhan will.
Rograk came up a ton though.
Came up a ton. Okay, let's start. We have Ad Nauseam. Let's
Yeah.
go with the rocks. We're doing Mana Crypt, Mox Diamond, Chromox, Soul Ring. Boom. Tier 1 rocks in. We're doing Lotus Petal, Mana Vault, Mox Opal, and the One Ring. Tier 2 rings, rocks in. Even though the One Ring is draw. Not.
It's a rock. I
It's
included
still
it
a
in the
rock.
rock section now. Whoa. Not the One Ring to rule them all.
That card sucks.
All right, the One Ring is in here now too. That's our backup plan. Is we have the One Ring that was gonna help us grind a little bit more.
Absolutely.
There has to be more mana artifacts that we want
Of
to
course,
play.
we'll have Arcane Signet,
Felwar Stone,
Felwar Stone, the drum. What's the drum?
Springleaf Jump.
Springleaf Drum. That's great with Rograk.
I think we're cut off on 2 mana.
We don't want to do much
Signets.
more than that. Yeah,
no,
I agree.
These 2 ones I think are the best, and I think we can cut that off there. I really like Springleaf Drum. Do we want to play the other one, the prismatic thing?
Prismatic.
It's the opposite of Springleaf Drum because it's an equipment.
Paradise Mantle.
Paradise Mantle,
I
yeah.
think that's a great one. Yeah, we can do Paradise Mantle. Something that I have liked and used a lot from other Rograk decks is Conqueror's Flail. We're not in blue. We don't have counter spells. I like the ability to be able to protect our stuff more. So I like Conqueror's Flail in the artifact section.
Do you like that more than Defense Grid?
I like them both.
You like them both?
I think I like them both.
Yeah,
I know we want to
okay.
go fast, but we want the option to use our extra
For the late
dockside
game,
stuff
yeah.
for protection. Mox Amber is obviously another one that works perfectly with
jeez.
Rograk.
I knew we were forgetting another
in
one.
there,
Yeah, Mox Amber. And this is not a Jeweled Lotus deck.
I don't think so.
Especially now that our second commander doesn't cost 5 mana.
Yeah.
I think Jeweled Lotus is going to weigh us down.
It is a Lion's Eye Diamond deck, though.
It is obviously
We're
going to
be on Underworld Breach.
Yeah.
We're already on Ad Nauseam, so that's going to go there.
We should move on to some of these other win conditions then too.
Do we want to put in Grim Monolith and Wishclaw Talisman while we're still in the artifacts? And then we'll move on to the next win condition.
Yeah, we can put in Wishclaw Talisman, even though that's a tutor, and I was going to talk about that when we talk about tutors.
Okay,
but
sure.
we can put that in
Understood.
now. And then you said another card.
Grim Monolith is the one that I said.
Yeah, I like Grim Monolith again because we are trying to get to a Ad Nauseam, and we are playing the One Ring as well.
Are we playing Necropotence, Bolus of Citadel, or Peer into the Abyss? Other black spells that draw a whole bunch of cards to go as fast as possible.
Let me think about that. So Necro kind of sucks.
Hear me out. We're in Final Fortune, Crop Rotation for Emergence Zone colors.
We're in Final Fortune Crop Rotate. That makes it a lot better because I was thinking like there's no good Born Upon the Wind.
But we
And
do
there's-
have 'em.
We do have stuff that we can do at least. That's not that bad, actually.
That's another field that I've been thinking about more recently is more ways to win the game at instant speed. I kind of think we should lean into Necro being able to win with Final Fortune, Crop Rotation for Emergence Zone to
Yeah.
still win on that end step or right away in the next turn.
Is Bolus of Citadel the way that we want to go, or do we want to play Peer into the Abyss?
I'm not sure if we want to do
I've typically
either.
liked Peer into the Abyss for when your life total gets low. You still have a great way to draw your deck and win the game.
Yep.
And it's not really affected by like Bolus of Citadel, which is still kind of the same thing. Your life total gets low, and now you're pinched and can't really do anything.
I don't think it's Bolus of Citadel. I've been kind of off that card in CEDH
Yeah.
recently. Peer, I have also been kind of off recently. I do think it could be good, but at first I feel like I want to see what the rest of what we're doing is.
Let's lean in more on Ad Nauseam and Necro for now. I'm also going to put in Final Fortune and Crop Rotation at this moment.
Do you want to put in Emergence Zone just to make sure we don't forget to?
Might as well round that out, yeah.
I think our ability to win at instant speed is going to be important in this deck.
Think so too, yeah. Taking the opportunity and advantage of windows when we have them, I think is going to be key.
Do you want to talk about actual how do we end the game?
Yeah.
Dual Caster Twin Flame. I think that's one of the best ones we have access to.
The other way that we're going to win the game is with the Witherbloom Smog line.
I do like that. Yeah, I like having a couple of win lines in these fast decks so that we're not always demonic tutoring for 2 pieces or an ad nauseum. Sometimes we have the Witherbloom, we just search for the chain and go right there. I like having multiple.
I also like including this one so that we have a way to win at instant speed, because like if we're trying to win with Necro on our end step, we can't go to combat and attack with a bunch of Twin Flames.
Yeah.
So or dual caster mages. So we definitely want to make sure that we have Witherbloom, Chain of Smog in there.
Underworld Breach can also be a win con with Grinding Station.
Yes, that is also true. It's another one of these 2-card engines that sets you up that we would still need to find one of these other 2 combos that we just talked about, but it's another artifact to add to our list as well, putting us up to a total of 19 so far.
Nice. So our Mox Opal is going to be turned on.
Our Mox Opal is so good.
Excellent. Love that.
I don't know if we need any other win conditions.
Let me think.
We have like official ways to finish the game. We obviously want to put in more tutors, more ways to find the Ad Nauseam, Necropotence, and like Final Fortune and stuff like that. But I think as ways to solidly close out the game, do we need like another way to make infinite something or chain anything? I
don't think so. I'm thinking about stuff like maybe Mayhem Devil, Dockside. Maybe there will be an accidental extra loop that we can add in, but for now, as the main ones, I like these ones.
Because we don't have an infinite mana outlet in the command zone, so like that's a bunch of pieces you have to set up to do a Dockside loop, and the Dockside loop cards are a little expensive. So if we're trying to lean in on Ad Naus, running Temur Sabertooth feels a lot worse.
I don't think we want to go that far. Yeah, I don't think we want to go there.
Well, let's go back to the mana production, because this is where we're gonna really.
We start on rocks. Let's go to mana production after we have the end goal here. We want rituals.
We want Dockside Extortionist, so we're going to throw that in definitely. We want Dark Ritual.
Dark Ritual and Culling the Weak. And Culling Ritual. Being in JUND means that we have access to some of the strong Golgari cards that don't get as much love, and I think that's one of them.
Culling Ritual is going to be one of the strongest cards in the deck. It is going to be what allows us to power out massive turns a lot of the time. I'm also going to put Cabal Ritual in here too.
Oh, sure. And Jessica's Will. We're a Rograk deck, so we're
definitely putting Jessica's Will in here too, yeah. I mentioned another card earlier.
I'm not sure what that card is, but I would like to mention Guild Artisan here. Guild Artisan is, do you remember this one from the background? That's commanders.
No, read it to me.
It says, commanders, creatures you have, say, whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, you create 2 treasures.
This is great. Does Rograk have Menace?
It does have Menace.
That's awesome.
Not only that, so you can get through pretty effectively, but you're not actually changing the life total, so you can just keep attacking the same player, not doing anything. It's effectively a 2-mana rock that creates 2 treasures a turn with Rograk. I think it's really good. And us having a 3-mana Rayhan that can sometimes get in, this will make 4 treasures if you attack with both of your commanders at the player who has the most life.
Honestly, you're not wrong. I think Guild Artisan is going to be a really cool card to try in this deck.
Yeah, I think
because we saw it be really good in Francisco recently. Spoiler alert. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
I definitely am seeing some lines where you're going to be able to Rograk turn 1 along with like a land Mox Diamond and cast Guild Artisan, and then on turn 2 you attack and it makes you the 2 treasures, and
it pays for itself immediately.
With the extra land drop, that's 5 mana right there for Ad Nauseam right away.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think it's going to help you out on your curve and be a really good extra mana.
Yeah, definitely. I just put an Infernal Plunge. That was the card I was saying I brought up earlier that we haven't put in quite yet. I just like having another way to make a bunch of extra mana using Rograk.
How about Rite of Flame?
I love Rite of Flame.
We could also do Simian Spirit Guide, obviously, and Elvish Spirit Guide. We're going fast.
Hell yeah, we got to get both the Spirit Guides in.
Do we want to do Tinder Dryad? Tinder Wall Dryad? Is that what it is? Tinder Wall Dryad?
Tinder Wall?
Tinder Wall.
I'll put it in for now. Yeah, I like Tinder Wall in general. It's just another Rite of Flame, basically.
How about Ragavan? Too slow? Is that where we want to be?
No, I like Ragavan. I mean, Ragavan is slow, but if we go turn 1 Ragavan, like that's still... If we set up nicely, like that still allows us to use it to our advantage to sacrifice later as well. So I kind of like Ragavan.
I think our goal is going to be winning on turn 2. Anything that helps us win on turn 2, that's going to be our main goal. And I think Ragavan can help with that. I don't want to go too far into mana dorks, but I do think Deathrite Shaman, Maybe Birds of Paradise and even Ignoble Hierarch could be okay as like extra mana production.
I think I agree with you. I don't want to lean in on like the mana dorks, especially the ones that only make one color of mana. I'm okay with Birds of Paradise.
Deathrite Shaman is the extra protection from Orcish Bowmaster, and we're not going to use it to interact with our opponents, but it does have that ability.
I definitely want Deathrite Shaman. I don't think that we want Delighted Halflane.
I don't think so.
We don't really have any legendary things that we're going to be casting.
But I like Ignoble Hierarch in a Rograk deck where you can attack and give it Exalted.
Yo, and if we're playing Guild, if we're playing Guild Artisan, like that just helps it a little bit more.
There you go.
All right, yeah, I don't mind that either. So yeah, I'm okay with 3, technically 4 mana darks with Ragavan, but I kind of want to cut it off there because they're slow. Yeah. They're not really going to help us a ton.
Other mana production. We got most of the rituals. We got the red and the black ones. What about green rituals? Are there any? We got the Elvish Spirit Guide Carpet of Flowers.
Again, that can make more than 1 mana, so I definitely think that we want more things that can make more than 1 mana.
I think Carpet of Flowers has gotten some like hate recently. I don't know if hate's the right word, but people are just a little bit low on it. I still think that card is really great. I've been still making 2 mana minimum with it often. That's a soul ring to me. That's good.
It's colors of mana that you can make too. It can really help you.
Are we playing Manamorphose?
You know what? Part of the reason why I like the JUND ad nauseum decks is because you do get to play Manamorphose.
I think we play Manamorphose. I think just like it's another way to like make sure our mana's the right color, draw through our deck, win quickly. Like we're just going to want to try to go for it.
It's just a free spell. It's free.
Yeah.
I love this so far. Should we talk about some tutors?
Sure, yeah, we can talk about tutors.
Yeah. Did you have something else you were going to say first?
I was just going to talk about some lands that make 2 mana. Things like Gaia's Cradle, even though we're not playing a ton of creatures, if it can just make 2 mana, that's going to be good enough. Things like Phyrexian Tower, right? Phyrexian... No, you're right. Phyrexian Tower, especially good because it helps us with the Rograk plan that we're trying to go off of. And then Ancient Tomb, City Brass.
You mean City of Traders?
That's what I mean. Also City Brass, but I mean City of Traders. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely one City of Traders. So looking at the mana base right now, we have 24 lands. I put in the...
Oh, you got other ones.
Well, I put in the expensive lands package over here on Moxfield. So we got all of the fetches that we need. We have all of the shocks that we need. We have all the dual lands that we need. Mana Confluence, City of Brass. We already had Emergence Zone in here. And then all of these soul lands that we talked about. This totals us at 24 lands
That's
so far.
Already... We maybe need 1 land more, if that.
I would maybe also agree. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of where we want to be at.
Yep, yeah, I am playing, let me just take a look at my Grixis Turbo list right now, and I am playing 24 lands there, so the JUND one doesn't need more than 20. I think maybe we can even shave a land.
We could probably shave. I'm comfortable with this number of lands right now.
For now, that's fine, yeah.
But I feel like maybe like City of Brass is going to get kicked.
I think one of the 5-color lands that deals us the damage, maybe we could think about.
Yeah.
Tutors,
yeah, let's get Demonic in here.
Demonic, Vampiric, Imperial Seal, going in.
Also, Diabolic Intent.
Worldly Tutor is great. And I even think Eldritch Evolution is really good with our Rograk plan. So I like that too.
Okay, give me a second.
I gave you a whole bunch right there.
I only typed 2 in so far.
Demonic, Vampiric, Imperial, Diabolic, Eldritch, Worldly.
Eldritch is great because Rograk can turn into Witherbloom.
That's what I was referring to when you were zoned out typing. That's my fault.
And Worldly Tutor also tutors up 50% of both of our combos.
And also has the ability to like tutor for, this is never going to happen, but every once in a while you're going to end step Worldly Tutor for a Simian Spirit Guide to have that extra mana on your turn 2. That's going to be helpful.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want Dockside Extortionist. You don't think that
that's probably way better. Yeah, that's probably way better. Yeah.
All right, so we're at 78 cards. We are chugging along really nicely here. We need some interaction though too.
Real quick, I want to mention Warrior's Oath because I think if we're going fast as hell, we want all of the 2 mana time walks. I know we said Final Fortune already.
I don't think we want all of them.
Maybe just 2 then.
I think historically, I look at those cards in my hand and I go like, this is not helping me too much. And once we put in more protection, I'll like them more. Like I like that we're playing both Conqueror's Flail and Defense Grid with this right now, but like historically, these aren't necessarily my favorite cards all the time.
Okay, we'll come back to those.
I put Warrior's Oath in for right now.
We'll wait on the 3rd.
But let's wait on the 3rd in case we need just in case.
You want to talk about interaction next?
Let's get to, I think we could get a little bit of interaction
Veil
here.
of Summer.
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Deflecting Swap. That's actually the best one.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We need a couple ways to be able to deal with problematic permanents in play.
Do we want to play Lightning Bolt?
I am meh on Lightning Bolt
How about
right now.
Abrupt Decay?
I am higher on Abrupt Decay and Ass Trophy. How do you feel about the Ass Trophy?
Ass Trophy, I start getting a little bit curious in the turbo decks, but I still think we want to play powerful cards, so I think we should play it.
All right, I'll put Ass Trophy in, and if we end up cutting it, like that could be a considerable cut. What about like Blast? Do we want to play?
I like both Blast because we want to be able to get rid of Ristic Studies every once in a while, so I think they're extra helpful. Also, Deadly Rollick. We have the Rog-Rack, so we want to have more. I think Deadly Rollick is great interaction for this deck.
I think so too. It is 4 mana is a lot of mana in these ad nauseam decks, but I think we're going to be able to get away with it.
I think it's necessary in today's day and age. I also consider Orcish Bowmaster kind of interaction.
Ooh, yeah, definitely. While we're on that topic, why didn't we put Wheel of Fortune in here?
Wheel's good, yeah. Do we want to talk about Wheel of Misfortune?
We should talk about Wheel of Misfortune because historically we've hated this card.
This is the deck for it, though.
If there's any deck that wants it, it's these really fast Rog-Rack decks. And I might be coming around.
Kill your darlings, right? What's the expression? We got to make a good deck. I think it's a good card, even though I don't like it, and it bites in the ass a lot.
I don't like it, but it's good here, so I will use it here.
Real quick, let's go back. There's a couple tutors that I wanted to add that we maybe forgot.
Yeah.
Gamble?
Gamble, oh yeah.
What about Praetor's Grasp?
I love Praetor's Grasp.
We're probably going to be playing Tainted Pact just as like another tutor, right? So maybe Praetor's Grasping for Thoracle is like a third win condition.
I think that the Praetor's Grasp for Tainted Pact and Thoracle is a great way to go.
Okay, so do you want to put Tainted Pact in also? Because that's like another tutor sometimes.
It's much better than Demonic Consultation, and at least this way, like you said, we have an extra way to win the game.
I'm not playing Consult.
No, we're not playing
I'm not
Consult.
playing Consult.
No, that card sucks.
Yeah.
We're not playing Sylvan Library.
We're not playing Sylvan Library. Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, the One Ring has replaced Sylvan Library in this strategy for me. Even though it's more expensive, it's completely colorless and is just going to be so much safer.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm good there. What's our cards looking like? We have win conditions, we have tutors, we have some protection. I feel like we need some more interaction if possible. Do we want to play Autumn's Veil?
I've historically liked Autumn's Veil in these kind of decks. Yeah, I'll put Autumn's Veil in. Autumn is a really weird word. I just want to throw that out there.
Do we want to play other protection like Dosin the Falling Leaf? Other players can't cast stuff on my turn cards.
That card seems really good if you can resolve a calling ritual before it.
Yeah.
And if you can't, it seems really bad.
The double green pips is tricky.
Yeah.
But we are kind of a docksidey deck.
Why not?
I think for now, maybe it's okay. Maybe cut it. Maybe we'll cut it.
Maybe we'll cut it, yeah.
What about Orcish Lumberjack? We're setting up for that turn 2 win.
I love Orcish Lumberjack.
I think we should kind of go all in there.
Let's move that the fuck in here.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. A card that helps you get turn 2 Atali all the time, I think is a perfect include.
We're not playing Atali, but we are playing Ad Nauseam, so I think it's
we
I think
need
it's
to
great.
get to 7 mana, so we have some extra floating after we Ad Naus anyway.
Rain of Filth is technically
yes.
It's a Rite of Flame on turn 2.
And it works really well with Underworld Breach and like helping us push through with that. I love Rain of Filth in
I
these
think it's
decks.
just like if we're going for fast, we're going for all in.
We're
it
going
helps
all
the turn
in,
2.
all fast. Yeah, exactly.
Other cards.
Is there anything else that we're missing that can help us like win again?
Noxious Revival.
Noxious Revival, yeah.
Get a win condition back. Try to draw it in some way.
Yeah, I think Noxious Revival's a good one.
Yawgmoth's Will?
Or Mizzix's Mastery. Do you have like a... Mizzix's Mastery seems bad.
I like Will better. Yawgmoth's Will better. I think without the access to Mnemonic Betrayal, I think Yawgmoth's will take that slot as third attempt.
I think that's fair. What I like about Mizzix's Mastery is that I don't have to like I can recast ad nauseum with it, whereas Yawgmoth's Will, that doesn't really feel possible a lot of the time.
So you have to pay for it?
You have to pay for it, and then like if I don't have LED or Dark Ritual, like it makes it a lot harder. I just have to be a little more set up.
I will say, oftentimes the only way that you are casting Ad Nauseam in this deck is off the back of rituals and stuff like that. So if you're Yawg willing for the Ad Nauseam, there's probably also a Dark Ritual or something there too.
Yeah.
But I do understand the complaint. I still think we need it for now.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. We have 2 more slots right now until we get to 100 cards.
2 more slots.
2 more slots.
Do we want the other Twin Flame, whatever it's called? I don't think so.
I don't think we need Heat Shimmer, no.
Heat Shimmer, no, we don't want Heat Shimmer.
I like it more in Atali because I'm looking for more ways to copy Atali, but I'm not really as interested. Are we interested in copying Dockside?
I think we are.
Maybe we do want Heat Shimmer.
I think we want a couple extra ways that can make our Dockside go crazy.
Yeah, because we need to explode. We can't play Phantasmal Image. Do we play Animate Dead? So Animate Dead, can I show you a picture that I have queued up on my laptop?
Yes.
It's this little meme. I'll post it in the video here, but it's corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures.
Phantasmal Image and Animate Dead.
And Animate Dead, but they're the same picture.
If we do play the reanimation spell, is Reanimate just better? Especially if we're looking for Dockside like ways to reanimate. Do we want to play the one with cycling Unearth?
Okay, so I think after all is said and done, the reality is that Unearth is the one that we want to play. Because looking at the list, we have 0 creatures that have more than 3 CMC.
But how do we sacrifice the Dockside? With like, it has to be with a culling or something like that?
No, we have, are you kidding me? We have Culling the Weak, Culling Ritual, we have Infernal Plunge, we have Diabolic Intent, we have Phyrexian Tower. Like,
because of Rograk,
built
we're already
around
sacrificing
it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, what did it, Unearth?
Unearth, yeah.
This seems great. And it doesn't get in the way of like the life loss thing. Like I should say the life loss doesn't get in the way of like our ad nauseum and our necro plan then too. So I think Unearth is perfect. And now this is like, we kind of have like this cool Luris thing going on almost.
Second backup option. I like it. Couple obvious powerful cards that maybe we should just bring up.
Okay.
Dauthi Voidwalker, Opposition Agent.
So Opposition Agent doesn't push you ahead. Like you can get some value off of it, but it doesn't like help you win the game.
It doesn't help our turn 2 strategy.
No, it doesn't help the turn 2 strategy, and the same goes for Dauthi Voidwalker, but these are cards that I'm thinking about for like ways to help us get back if we don't get the turn 1 or the turn 2, which I think we do need. We're at 100 cards, but we've talked about a couple that we would consider cutting, but
we put Grinding Station in, right?
We did put Grinding Station in. I would rather play Dauthi than Opposition Agent.
Me too, but I don't know if we want either, to be honest. I just know that they're powerful cards that we should talk about.
I don't know if we want either. I would consider cutting one of the cards that we talked about, like being iffy, like Assassin's Trophy, for like a Dauthi to try out as just, again, something else that we have to try to get us back, but it might be bad.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Trophy, we're always going to be happy to see when it removes something. And Dauthi is very dependent on other players.
What about instead of depending on other players, what if we just put in a little bit more mana? What about a Wild Growth or something like that?
Yeah, Wild Growth's pretty good.
Do we want some extra mana? We can play it on turn 1 and then on turn 2 it adds an extra mana.
Wild Growth's not bad, right?
I think Wild Growth might be it.
Wild Growth's good. Wild Growth is underrated.
Is that 100 cards?
That's actually 101.
Oh shit! I thought we were just looking for one.
No, that's 101.
Now we got
to find a cut. I know we were iffy on Assassin's Trophy. I'm okay with Warrior's Oath. I think I've come around on that, but I really like a lot of these other cards.
Yeah, I would say Unearth is one that looks a little bit out of place, but that's okay. That's our nice little include. Manamorphose is a little strange. That's okay. That's our include. Maybe the Wild Growth. I was just looking for an extra card. If we don't want it, maybe Wild Growth comes out.
All right, then I'm going to cut this Wild Growth then.
I think
we put this together really quick.
We did. We got a nice fast deck here.
Yeah, I might build this deck, dude. This might be what I put together for Chicago.
Do you want to do some test hands?
Yeah, let's do some test hands.
Let's see if it's any good.
Tell me when to stop.
Good, stop.
Okay. So our first hand is Misty Rainforest, Conqueror's Flail, Arcane Signet, Dockside Extortionist, Wheel of Fortune, Noxious Revival, and Carpet of Flowers. So let's set up a pod, because obviously this hand is dependent on what our pod is and if there's going to be Carpet of Flowers mana for us.
Blue Farm is in seat 1.
Okay, Kinnan is in seat 2.
Blood Pod is in seat 3.
Ah, damn it. I thought you were going to say another blue deck. That was going to make this a little bit easier.
And then we're in seat 4.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know. Like, this is a little bit tough. I think we're going to have a lot of easier time fighting a second 7 that can make more mana.
It's close. If Dockside is good on turn 2, where this hand's the strategy is turn 1, Rograk, Carpet of Flowers. Turn 2, hope that Dockside into Wheel of Fortune is good. I think we can do better than that on our first 7, though. Let's go to our second 7.
I don't think there's anything we could like use for Noxious Revival so that we could draw it again for Wheel that makes it worth it. Like the only thing would be our Misty Rainforest to guarantee a second land, but I don't think that's good. Let's definitely deal another hand. Okay, so this hand is Phyrexian Tower, Stomping Ground, Paradise Mantle, Polluted Delta, Soul Ring, Cabal Ritual, and Deathrite Shaman. It's all mana and nothing else. I think we go to 6.
Yeah, it's just so close, right? It's like
it's so close.
If there's any tutor, any way to find find any action, we keep this hand for sure.
Honestly, if we were Rograk Timna, I'd be super down with this hand.
If
but
this was a 6, I think I would probably be closer to keeping it. But since we're still on 7, I think we can risk it for another one.
Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. Here's another hand that doesn't do anything. Emergence Zone, Paradise Mantle, 3 more lands, including Taiga, Arid Mesa, and Scalding Tarn, Mana Crypt, and Veil of Summer.
This is getting closer to a hand that we would have to start keeping.
Like, this gets Rayhan out really quickly, but that doesn't do anything. Like, we need to draw.
Just action, really.
This is, if we draw, this is a lot of mana, though, with, like, Mana Crypt, like, and this is a 6, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we draw a tutor, all we need is a tutor, and we can present a win then. That's all we need. So there's all of our tutors and Adnaz and Necropotence.
As draws?
As draws, so that's, like, probably 1/10 of our deck. Does a 10% chance of drawing a card here beat a mulligan to 5?
There's probably some math that says that.
I'm going to mull to 5.
I'm going to mull to 5.
I'm going to mull
Let's
to 5.
go to 5. Let's see if we can find something.
We're going last.
Yeah, we need something.
All right, here we go. This deck sucks. Scalding Tarn, Lotus Petal, Taiga, Exotic Orchard, Phyrexian Tower, Final Fortune, and Tinderwall.
All these lands are in a 24-land deck.
We need...
What the hell?
We need to shave a land.
That's crazy.
We need to shave a land.
Let's go to 4 real quick and see what 4 looks like.
4 is actually not bad. Scalding Tarn, Exotic Orchard, Mana Vault, Defense Grid, Diabolic Intent, Necro, and Culling Ritual.
Yeah, love it. What is it? So is there a way we need land, Culling Ritual, Necro?
We have 4 cards, so we could even go
but just
land.
that is turn 1 Necro,
We
right?
can go... Wait, what?
Can I see it?
No, we can't.
Culling Ritual, not Culling the Weak?
No, not Culling the Weak. It's Culling Ritual. So, like, part of me wants Mana Vault so that we can Culling Ritual, but, like, Culling Ritual is going to get us into either Diabolic Intent or Necropotence. Probably Necropotence here, right?
What's the second artifact?
Defense Grid.
Defense Grid.
This is an amazing 7. If I could keep this 7, like, this is what we're looking for in a 7.
I'm almost positive there's a keep here. I know it's definitely land, Mana Vault. It could be land, Mana Vault.
Culling Ritual, Necropotence, I think, is what the keep is. Because you hope for a second mana source that allows you to go turn 2 Culling Ritual into your Necropotence.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. We play a ton of mana sources, and we draw a Worldly Tutor, which is going to tutor Dockside. Yeah, so we can still do what we want to do.
Definitely this is a keep on 4 for sure. I'm not positive what it is. I think it's land, Mana Vault, Culling Ritual, Necropotence.
I think that's what it is too. In decks like this, you want to maximize playing to your outs.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you play to whatever you draw, and playing around your draw being what is going to get you there.
Yeah.
So, like, knowing how many cards in your deck make mana, how many cards in your deck find ad nauseum is, like, super important, because that's really going to be the decision maker for, like, all of these hands.
Yeah, agree. Should we go to another one?
Yeah. Do we want to shave a land before we go to another
No, that was
pod?
a small sample size. That's crazy. 24 lands. We're not going to hit 4 lands like that often.
All right, here we go.
First 7.
First 7. All right, Emergent Zone, Scalding Tarn, Necropotence, Deadly Rollick, Final Fortune, Jessica's Will, Veil of Summer. This is mad close. This is like where it sucks an Emergent Zone doesn't make color mana.
Yeah.
And like we only have Scalding Tarn to make black-red right now.
I don't think this is it. It's close. If we had a way to make some more mana, if we had any piece of fast mana, this would be good. But on our first 7, we can mulligan.
Like, we can't get Jessica's Will out quickly. We can't get Necro out quickly. Let's go to second 7.
This deck is going to mulligan a lot. That's okay.
All right, so second 7 is Mox Opal, Blood Crypt, Arcane Signet, Pyroblast, Twin Flame, Noxious Revival, and Manamorphose.
Another one that's not quite there. Mox Opal's not turned on. We don't have a second mana source for Arcane Signet. Let's go to 6.
All right, going to 6. Lotus Petal, Badlands, Ancient Tomb, Conqueror's Flail, Grim Monolith, Ad Nauseum, and Warrior's Oath. Yeah, all right,
We're
baby.
trying to turn 2 win.
Here we go. Yeah, so this is pitching Warrior's Oath, probably, because this will allow you to go turn 1, Rograk, Ancient Tomb into Grim Monolith, and Lotus Petal. You might as well run that out there unless someone has like a Heuristic Study in play yet. And then turn 2, you just present Ad Nauseum.
Yep, I think so. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's if the Conqueror's Flare was a defense grid, you could go for protected turn win, so you're a little bit short. But depending on what you draw, you still might be able to do something to equip that.
No, you can. You can go for a protected win still. No, you can't.
No, you can't. You either
You're
go
right.
for the Grim Monolith or you go for the...
we played Grim Monolith on
But
turn
yeah,
one.
you just go for a turn 2 win, either on your main phase or hold up at instant speed, depending on what the table does. This
We're
is
definitely
key.
built to win on your main phase after a main phase ad nauseum, so I think we'd be able to spin into some pretty good stuff here.
Cool.
So yeah, this was great. Do you want to deal another hand?
One more test game.
All right, that sounds great. So this hand is Lotus Petal, Paradise Mantle, Stomping Ground, the One Ring, Tainted Pact, Heat Shimmer, and Manamorphose. Ooh, you know what?
I like this
I'm really tempted to keep this because this is
turn 2 One Ring. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. This is 3 mana going into turn 2, but like if we really need to, we can Tainted Pact for more mana, right?
We can take it back for mana. We have one half of the combo piece. We have an extra draw in Manamorphose and a way to like filter mana if we need to. This hand is not the fastest hand or the best hand we've ever seen, but the One Ring is strong enough that a turn 2 One Ring, I'm going to count that as a soft win. Although it's not a win on turn 2, if you win on turn 5, it'll be because of the One Ring. So I think this is worth keeping.
The One Ring is the card that's going to allow us to present multiple wins throughout the game. Yeah, exactly. And just keep getting better and better and better as it stays longer in play. So
we haven't kept a 7 yet. I'm keeping this 7.
No, yeah. This 7 is extremely close to being able to turn 2 One Ring. I mean, you have like a free draw off of Manamorphose too. So like getting just extra information is also nice.
Hell yeah. We built a JUND deck and it's fast.
We built a JUND deck and it's fast. Yeah. What's our draw? Ass Trophy. Wow. We should have replaced Ass Trophy with something good.
Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to support us directly, you can do so on Patreon, like our $100 patrons.
Sean in the Ice, Mark Cirillo, SoCal Acura, Stormageddon, Luke Cook, AJ Albasabi, Demon of Rosgrees, Uncle Butts, Kawaja A. Hamid, Lauren Connell, and Baby G's Bus.
If you want to pick up any of our merch, you can do that at playtowinmtg.com.
Big shout out to Dragon Shield. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Make sure you use our affiliate link down below and code PlayToWin5 to get 5% off your orders there.
Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for more content.
Thank you so much for watching.
See you next time.
$50 patrons.
Or listening.
Tyler Watson, Brian Barrington, Zachary Colson, Tyler H, X Tyler the Tree, X Malcraft, Driving Crooner, Jabaha, Macy, Ace, Dalton, Poti, not Hobo Ghost, shit. Fuck, I'm lost. Mitchell Shepard, Justin, Man Solo, Pedro, Jacob Depp, Michael Ballou, Jan Wildfang, Thomas Bueno, and David Nelson.
This is how I'll sound when I sound. I'll sound just like this, how I sound when I sound. And when I sound and talk, I'll talk and sound like this.
I can't really see out of my glasses.
Because your glasses are foggy? Because your vision's changing?
No, because they're dirty as shit. All right, that's a little bit better.